Ne te quisieras extra. Do not seek outside yourself. Genotiseuton. Know thyself.
I think the common man is phony here,
Yeah.
and expects authenticity here.
Yeah.
And this is where people like you and I live, in between. We're more authentic than the common man. We don't reach the ideal. And so what they can do is they can say, oh, they don't reach the ideal.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it's like, yeah, but you're fucking 3 levels below us.
Yeah.
So fuck you.
Yeah.
And I think that's...
Get on my level first and then make some criticism.
Exactly. Then bitch about us not being on the peak yet.
Yeah.
It's like, that's how I see someone like Cortez.
Yeah.
Or even myself. It's like, yeah, we're not there yet. We're still phony as fuck.
Mm.
But we're not as funny as you are, motherfucker.
Yeah. We're operating on a higher level. And there are higher levels above that. But we're all trying to get to those higher levels.
Yes.
And that's part of the struggle. And especially if you're on social media, that's part of the gig. You got to have a presence on social media, but with that much exposure, it's inevitable you'll say something that's just dumber than fuck. At some point, everyone will say something that they'll be like, oh, fuck.
I've told you that when I read my book, I wish I would not said that. I wish I could pull it out.
Yeah.
I don't want that in the book anymore. I've thought that. And I'm glad that I don't do it because it needs to be in there. And you've said that.
Yeah.
That ugliness needs to be in there.
That goes back to, like, if you're taking a test, always go with your first answer.
Yes.
You know, that's kind of your instinct telling you what the right answer is.
Yep.
And I guess it's in a way when you write it down, you know, then you begin to second guess your first instinct, which was to write that shit down.
Yep.
Now you think, oh man, that's embarrassing.
Oh.
It's too fucking personal. It's like, I shouldn't have said that. Or maybe I don't even agree with what the fuck I said. I made a claim. So I don't think that's actually accurate.
That's it.
Yeah.
I read that and go, I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't want people thinking I think that. I don't think that.
Yeah.
But I left it in. And I'm glad I'm going to leave it in, but I can't read it. I cannot read that book. I can read number 2.
Yeah.
I can't read number 1.
Yeah. Interesting.
This conversation reminds me of the essay Self-Reliance by Ralph Waldo Emerson. To read some excerpts from this. I read the other day some verses written by an eminent painter, which were original and not conventional. Always the soul hears an admonition in such lines. Let the subject be what it may, the sentiment they instill is of more value than any thought they may contain. To believe your own thought, to believe that what is true for you in your private heart is true for all men, that is genius. Speak your latent conviction, and it shall be the universal sense. For always the inmost becomes the outmost, and our first thought is rendered back to us by the trumpets of the last judgment. Familiar as the voice of the mind is to each, the highest merit we ascribe to Moses, Plato, and Milton is that they said it not, books and traditions, and spoke not what men, but what they thought. A man should learn to detect and watch that gleam of light which flashes across his mind from within. More than the luster of the firmament or bards and sages, he dismisses without notice his thought because it is his. In every work of genius, we recognize our own rejected thoughts. They come back to us with a certain alienated majesty. Great works of art have no more affecting lesson for us than this. They teach us to abide by our spontaneous impression with good-humored inflexibility. Than most when the whole cry of voices is on the other side. Else, tomorrow, a stranger will say with masterly good sense precisely what we have thought and felt all the time, and we shall be forced to take with shame our own opinion from another. Another excerpt a little further down I think is worth reading as well. It goes like this. The other terror that scares us from self-trust is our consistency. A reverence for our past act or word because the eyes of others have no other data for computing our orbit than our past acts, and we are loath to disappoint them. Why drag about this monstrous corpse of your memory? Suppose you should contradict yourself, what then? A foolish consistency is the hobgoblin of little minds, adored by little statesmen and philosophers and divines. With consistency, a great soul has simply nothing to do. He may as well concern himself with his shadow on the wall. Out upon your guarded lips, sew them up with packthread, do. Else if you would be a man, speak what you think today in words as hard as cannonballs, and tomorrow speak what tomorrow thinks in hard words again, though it contradicts everything you said today. And then exclaim, the aged ladies, you shall be sure to be misunderstood. Misunderstood. It is a right fool's word. Is it so bad, then, to be misunderstood? Pythagoras was misunderstood, and Socrates, and Jesus, and Luther, and Copernicus, and Galileo, and Newton, and every pure and wise spirit that ever took flesh. To be great is to be misunderstood.